It's me, it's Queen Set Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Alright guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and pass it on to somebody else who may like it as well. Likewise, if you would like to get in contact with me, if you would like to get a reading, if you want to become one of my patrons on Patreon, if you want to leave me a love donation, if you want to grab me something off of my Amazon wish list, if you want to contact me, all that information will be in the comment section underneath this video. Likewise, if you have a general question for Asking Aquarius, please email it to me and I'll be happy to answer it. All general questions I answer for free, okay? I love answering you guys on video. Okay, so I was talking to different people after I did the video about go with your gut instinct. And some people were confused because I expected them to be. Because a lot of people don't know how to tell your head and your heart and your gut from each other. So a lot of people are like, how do I know which one it is? And I expected people to be confused because that is very confusing. It was hard for me at first to figure out which one is which. But remember something, okay? Number one, your head is always going to do the logical thing, the thing that makes the most sense. So as you're thinking through the possibilities, that's where your head is going to go every time. Your heart is going to go to how you feel, your feelings about something. And it's not going to take the logic into consideration. But the gut is totally different because the gut may take any one of those things or probably all of those things. The gut is going to give you an answer that usually is a combination of all of that, or it could be just one or the other, but it's going to give you the right one. So everybody is like, okay, number one, they don't know how to know it's their gut's voice. How do you know when it's your gut talking? Now, it's just like when you listen to different voices. When you listen to your mom's voice, you can differentiate your mom's voice from your father's voice. Usually by the time you're like, born? Maybe 1 year old, you can tell the difference between their voices. It's the same process. You have to use your introspection. Basically, you got to get quiet, you got to get still and figure out where are your thoughts coming from? Which voice is it? And remember, the logical, if it's coming from your head, the voice is going to be one of logic. It's going to be one of what makes sense to do. If the voice is coming from your heart, it's going to be one that talks about emotion, that vibrates emotion. And emotion is going to be its key point. But how do you know what the voice of the gut is? I've found these things to be true about the gut. So I'm going to tell them to you, and you can tell me. Those of you who are, really good with using your gut instinct, I would love to know, how do you know it's your gut and not your head or your heart? How do you know it is your intuition? Tell me that in the comment section, because 9 times out of 10, you might do the same thing I do. So this is how I know it's my gut. Number one, the gut instinct is usually your first instinct. 9 times out of 10, my gut instinct, my intuition is first. It's Johnny on the spot. As soon as somebody says something, my gut is like, boop. It kicks right in. As soon as it goes, it's like, boop, boop. It's immediate. But for most of us, the gut instinct comes first, and then we allow the head or the heart, or both, to talk us out of it. So it's usually the first thing that you hear. When your girlfriend say that she was out all night with her friends, your gut, your intuition is going to say, bam. No, she wasn't. She was over that dude crib. Your gut is going to say it immediately. Your head and your heart going to play games with it. Like your head going to be like, nah, she wasn't there, because if she was there, then this would have happened or that would have happened, or she wouldn't have called, but she did answer the phone. Your head is going to go through that. Your heart is going to be in the space of, I don't want to believe that. I don't want to think that she would do something like that. I really care about her. I think she cares about me. That's where your heart is going to go to, the feelings once again. But your gut was first, Johnny on the spot. Nah, she lying, dude. It's always first. It's the first thing that comes out the gate, and it comes immediately as soon as you hear something. As soon as somebody says something to you, your gut speaks first. It speaks first. It speaks immediately. That's your ancestors. That's your intuition. That's God. It speaks up first. It's the first thing. But like I said, we usually talk ourselves out of it through the head, the heart, or both. The other thing about the gut instinct will nag you. It's going to come out first, and then you're going to try to talk yourself out of it, and the gut going to keep coming back. It's going to keep coming back. That feeling in your gut, like something just don't feel right. Like it's going to keep coming. And you're going to keep ignoring it. You're going to tell you, nah, she wouldn't do that. He wouldn't do that. Nah, he answered the phone. Nah, I'm just being paranoid. And your gut is like, and it's gnawing at you. And it won't let you rest. The gut is just fucking with you. And it just will not let you rest. It's that gnawing, nagging feeling, I call it. And when you get still and when you get into yourself, you feel it. It's strong. You like, why can't I let this go? Why do I keep feeling this? Why does this keep coming up for me? And that's why your gut is nagging you, because you're trying to ignore it. Whenever you try to ignore your intuition, it nags you. Don't ignore it. Investigate it. That's what I do. If my gut is nagging me and I can't figure out what the right way to go is, I start investigating. Why is my gut bothering me about this? So I start asking the person more questions. I start listening to their explanation a little closer. I look at the text messages a couple more times. I start really focusing. And every single time, whatever my gut was trying to tell me, I finally see it. Like, aha, that's why my gut was bothering me. So it bothers you. The head and the heart, they're sometimes persistent, but they don't bother you. They don't nag you. They don't gnaw at you. They don't ring at you like the gut. The gut is in your face and it keeps bothering you, you know? That's how you know. And the last one is the gut repeats. And not just in a nagging way, but it'll come to you in dreams. It'll come to you in visions. It'll come to you on a billboard. It'll come to you by an off comment that your neighbor says. The gut coming from your intuition is coming from the spirit world. So once the spirit world sees you trying to ignore it, it starts trying to give you the message in other ways. So you might dream about the situation and be like, something ain't right. You might have a vision about it while you're at work. You might have a neighbor that says something to you like, I did see your girlfriend last week. I thought it was strange because she was over on 3rd and you told me she was going to Ogons. And you sitting there like, she was supposed to be on Ogons. So it's like those kind of things. It repeats, but it's going to start repeating from external places. You see? So these are the things that the gut normally does, the intuition. The gut is the intuition. I use the terms interchangeably, but they're the same thing. So they start to try to come at you through your 6 senses. So your intuition, that is your intuition. Your intuition is your 6th sense. So the information is going to try to come to you through other ways. If you're not paying attention, that's when it's going to come through dreams. That's when it's going to come through other people. That's when it's going to come through these visions. That's when it's going to come through something that you just so happen to be drawn to on a billboard or in a book or something like that. So when you're trying to use your intuition, you have to pay attention and you got to get still. Every day you have to get still and think about the situations that are going on in your life. The young lady also asked me, how can you strengthen your intuition? Your intuition naturally strengthens from meditation. It also strengthens from you listening to it. The more you figure out what your intuition is telling you and honor it and follow it and go along with it, the stronger it gets. So it gets stronger as you figure it out and as you honor it every single time. And then the last thing she said was, how can you tell the difference between fear and intuition? Well, Fear is a natural instinct. Fear is nothing wrong with fear. Fear is the reason why you're still alive. Fear is an internal instinct meant to make you be cautious. Okay, so fear is not a problem. Fear is fine. It's just that when you allow fear to hold you back is when fear becomes a problem. So how do you know the difference between your fear and your intuition? So let's use the case of the young lady who's stepping out with some dude and your gut instinct is trying to tell you. All right, so how do you know you're not just scared? How do you know you're not just paranoid or insecure? How do you know that's your gut telling you that and not your paranoia? Well, first of all, because you investigate. That's what I just got finished talking about. If you think it's just fear talking, investigate the situation, whatever it may be. And if it's just fear talking, there will be nothing. You won't find anything. There will be no grounds of anything. It just smoke. It just disappear. But if it's intuition, you will find evidence of what your gut is trying to tell you. So if you can't decide between if it's your fears talking or your intuition talking, investigate the subject. And you will find very quickly which one it is. Just investigate. That's all you got to do. And if there's nothing to it, then push past the fear and keep going. Because you're always going to have fear. The same way you're always going to be hungry, you're always going to be sleepy, you're always going to be thirsty, you're always going to get afraid. But you don't have to let it hold you back. Investigate the fear. Let's say you have a decision to make about something you want to buy. Let's say you're looking to buy a building. And you're not sure if you're just afraid to make the purchase or if your gut instinct is telling you there's something wrong with this property. Well, as soon as you get in that space, investigate. Have somebody appraise the property. See if your fears are justified. Because some of the times they are. Some of the times they very much are. And some of the times they're not. And when they're not, if you've investigated, you'll learn that, and then you can just push past the fear. Okay? So that's a little bit about intuition. Intuition is tricky. I'm not surprised that people are confused by it, especially if you're not using it effectively. At first, I was confused by it because I couldn't figure out which voice was talking. But the more you listen, the more you figure out which voice is talking. Just listen to yourself. Listen to your soul. Listen. That's why people tell you to meditate. That's why they tell you to go be by yourself sometimes. You got to get still sometimes, guys. You really have to. Some people are never in a space of stillness. Somebody was telling me once, it was Voldemort, as a matter of fact. I was talking about meditation, and he was saying that's weird. That it's strange to sit and just not be doing anything. And I'm like, no, what's weird is never getting still and listening to yourself. It's called introspection. It's called soul searching. And it's something you should do daily to figure out what's going on in your life. Okay? All right, guys, it's time for me to get going. So come back soon because I have a lot more to say. See you later.